Watch the TV screen. Ky and Spider laughing loud, making quite a scene. Honeybee, she sneezes, laughter fills the room. Kahuna Nui steps in, chases all the gloom. Catalano TV, fun times, every blues fits alive. Friends just being who they are, stars under the same sky. Spider flips the channels, Kahuna Nui stays close. Joey strums guitar strings, Honeybee feels the most. Laughter echoes endless, stories in the blue. Ky and Honey dreaming, making moments true. Catalano TV, fun times, epic blues fits alive. Friends just being who they are, stars under the same sky. Laughter echoes endless, stories in the blue. Ky and Honey dreaming, making moments true. Catalano TV, fun times. Ky and friends light up the night. Honeybee's laughter feels just right. Grandma House, he's on the stage. Ross dogs breaking out of the cage. We're having a blast. Laughter that lasts, epic sound on the show. Let the good times flow. Terry Mead plays his tune so sweet. Random dogs can't stay off their feet. Wave of grooves with that funky beat. Eggplant Frank makes the crowd complete. We're having a blast. Laughter that lasts, epic sound on the show. Let the good times flow. Terry Mead plays his tune so sweet. Ramming dogs can't stay off their feet. Wave of grooves with that funky beat. Eggplant Frank makes the crowd complete. We're having a blast. Laughter that lasts, epic sound on the show. Let the good times flow. Sneezes and cheers all around. Great chat drops up the sound. Live in the moment here and now. Feel the music, lift the crowd. We're having a blast. Laughter that lasts, epic sound on the show. Let the good times flow.
And bouquets, beaches, welcome. It is a terrific Tuesday and a terrific Tuesday evening for our friends in the land down under. It's a beautiful morning here. We had woke up to see the ground wet. Means it was raining last night while we were sleeping, and looks like it's going to be a nice day. Take a moment to think about all the things you have to be thankful for. Yeah, why not start with that? I'm thankful for the rain. It's good to see you in here, Brent. I am delighted you're feeling better, friend. He says, did Ky finally get his Tonight Show keychain? I heard people talking about that, saying that the folks he asked to manufacture something using what is probably, um, a well, it's probably the property. The design is probably the property of the show, and so manufacturing something with a design that is owned by the show could end up costing you some money in court. And well, if they're taking advice from one named Chicken Melendez, they just might end up in some trouble, right? Let's be honest. Nobody's going to him for advice on how to proceed legally, right? Is that a fair statement? So I don't think you're going to see that. I don't think anybody's going to ever see that thing, but I could be wrong. Let's see what other folks are saying in here. But Brent, man, I'm so glad you're feeling better, buddy. I'm not joking when I tell you I was sincerely worried. I mean, how are we going to pick on Brent if he's not in here, right? Or how's he going to pick on me for my food choices? Eggplant Frank's in the house. The party's complete. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm not worried, Big Boss. I'm not worried about the indigent fools that are communists and devil worshippers. These people are nothing but well, they're maggots on well, you know what they're on. So it really doesn't bother me. I mean, we're talking about, Big Boss, you're bringing up a person that attacked basically the person that was on some show. I come to realize he's a communist, come to realize he's a Satan worshiper. He's got videos out telling Kim Jong Un and the to contact him. I mean, this is the mentality. And so I'm like, I don't want to have anything to do with this person. I don't want to have any show with that person. There's no interest whatsoever. And so just by simply rejecting that person, the person starts attacking you, and the person starts attacking your wife. It really tells you everything you need to know. I mean, that's the level of person you're at. And these are things I don't really typically get into because well, loser is as loser does. And you try to have compassion for people, but people like that, there's when they approach you, say, oh, they want a peace. Well, we want to have peace, and then they offer to take down things attacking your wife. I mean, I never once asked the loser to take down anything, not a single video, never once. The loser offered to take, oh, I want peace and take down some of these things. So, yeah, oh, yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah. Like I ever believed anything. We had prior information what the work was going on, and it's all a work. And we had information from a secret source let us know all this before it happened. So we've got an individual who walked right into something that we knew where it was coming from, what was going to happen, because well, stupid. Anyways, I'm not really. It doesn't concern me. I have no fear of this very pathetic individual. I mean, it's pathetic. Like, oh, I'm gonna attack you. Oh, I'm gonna go nuclear. I could care less. People see you. They see you attacking wives for no reason. They see you attacking people for no reason. What's the substance? What's the basis for attack? What have we done? We've done nothing. This is just a pathetic human being that honestly seems to be soulless, quite frankly. I mean, I can't see how one can draw a different conclusion that honestly, but that's just my take. So I've said enough about said maggot, and we'll move on. If you listen to the show, that this is not the normal course for us. We don't address those type of things because well, it doesn't serve the audience. So I address it here just because out of respect for Big Boss and these guys asking questions about some complete imbecile. And if you listen, you'll understand. You realize just what level of capacity this individual has. It's really quite pathetic, honestly. And that's all I have to say. Eggplant Frank, good to see you in here. Oh, when he calls names, he calls me names. It hurts my feelings so bad. It'll ruin my whole day. Do you believe that, really? You ever see the kids play in the neighborhood, like doing stupid things? You know, oh, please don't call me names. Oh, I'm so troubled. Oh, Lord. It's pathetic. Those keychains contain asbestos. Fretta, that's funny. That's funny. Wouldn't that be something? Imagine, where's the cheapest garbage we can get? The manufacturer says they just put in stuff that's for free because people are throwing it away. Yeah, we'll use this stuff for that. It'll work. Just like they were putting the melamine in dog food, I guess, in some areas and destroying people's animals and pets because some greedy factory owner thought it would be a substitute for something he didn't have. Oh well. Eggplant Frank. Kai, no one cares about the keychain. Yeah, right. Well, that other guy's kind of like a keychain too. Sup, Frank? Fist bump. Hey. And you are still sick. It's a sick Eggplant Frank. You're still not well, I can tell you. You're under the weather. I'll be honest, I busted my tail this past weekend and even up till late last night. And yeah, you got a project supposed to be done on Monday morning. You send in a report, and then they want a bunch of more work done because of what they found out. And then you've got a bunch more work. And well, I think it's going to end up finish today. So we'll see. But ridiculous amount of time. And that takes its toll on you, all that work, right? Eggplant Frank. Who is this loser and why should I care? You shouldn't care. Unless you want to laugh at someone, I think you probably shouldn't care. It's the mentality and the disposition is really quite comical. I'm a communist. I'm a Satan worshiper. I want Kim Jong-il to contact me or the leader of China, and because I'm a communist. I mean, just let that sink in. Okay, this is the mentality that we're talking about here. He attacks my wife for no reason. These are the kind of human being attacks somebody's wife for no reason that has nothing to do with anything, and it really tells you more about them than anything else. So that's your answer there, Eggplant Frank. Yeah, we're not asking for anybody to go after anybody. That's we don't care. We're not interested in that. This is when these people fabricate complete lies. Like his buddy says, "Oh, Ky deleted a bunch of stuff on Streamyards." Well, I can tell you for a fact, I have never had access to a Streamyard account until I came to Catalano TV. So just by virtue of that fact alone, tells you that these folks are these are lies, and people tell lies because they want to launch attacks. It's pathetic individuals, and I appreciate the free press. So, thank you. I also understand that when people see people like that saying things, it's not like they give them much credence either. So, it doesn't concern me. Yeah, Brent's asking who is that? I think his name is BJ something. Gasha says, morning, Big Boss. I enjoyed the show until he kept bringing up Ky. Yeah, well, losers do what losers do, man. That's, I mean, you think about that. He goes after my wife. This pathetic individual goes after my wife for no reason. I mean, that's just the kind of person that they are. It doesn't bother me. It's a reflection of who they are, and how desperate too. You reject someone and say, yeah, I don't want to have a show with a Satan worshiping communist that's proud of being communist. Yeah, it tells me that the lack of education and understanding to know what amount of death and destruction occurred for such ideologies, it just really takes a certain level of ignorance to embrace such a thing. Yeah, in fact, yeah. Yeah, I'm not concerned. Gasha says, you talking about the son of high pitch Eric? Big Boss. Yeah. I think that's probably not a bad comparison. Oh man. Uh Eggplant Frank says, when the cops rock up, just tell the truth. So you might ask, enough of all this rubbish talk of uncivilized. What national day is it, Ky? Why, what national day is it? Please do share with us. Why, it's National Climb a Mountain Day. Yeah, National Climb a Mountain Day. I'll tell you, climbing a mountain, at least one that's sizable, not exactly something's going to happen in a day. But, maybe some little mountains. I mean, the definition of a mountain domestically here in the United States is a land that's 1,000 feet higher than the surrounding land, right? So that shouldn't be terribly difficult to do in a day, right? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And well, if you're only going 1,000 feet up, I think that's quite easy to accomplish. So find the smallest mountain you can. National Climb a Mountain Day. Well, all righty. What other national day, you might ask, is it? Why, it's National Whistleblower Day. I know that when me and my sweetheart started doing mushroom forays, which basically you've got a group of folks that search for culinary mushrooms that you absolutely have a positive identification without any doubt whatsoever. Very important distinction. And certain mushrooms that you can find while you're on a mushroom foray, walking through the woods, basically on a trail or off the beaten path, so to speak. You're looking for certain types of culinary mushrooms that you can cook and eat. And conveniently, many of them are absolutely easily distinguished between others. You've got chanterelle mushrooms, which tend to be small, but quite delicious and tasty. You've got chicken of the woods, which is very distinctive looking. You've got hen of the woods, which is called a maitake. That's a very distinctive looking mushroom. And that one's actually my favorite one. Typically, you'll find them at the base of oak trees. But, these are things that you don't typically, you don't consume or even consider without having an expert identify and corroborate exactly what it is you're looking at. And because mistakes with that can really turn out bad. Anyways, we don't recommend people do that without an expert. So the question about National Whistleblower Day, well, when we first started going on our mushroom forays, wanted to do the responsible thing and make sure that Miss Honeybee had a whistle, right? You get out in the woods. Tell you, if you're going hiking and you get lost, you should have a whistle. So we got a whistle for Miss Honeybee. So that's National Whistleblower Day. There you have it. Do you have a whistle? If you have a whistle, wet your whistle. I'm sure Eggplant Frank is, maybe he's wet his whistle. Who knows? I think Brent has probably been wetting his whistle with some aqua dolce, just getting over his his illness, right? Eggplant Frank says communism is great in theory. Yeah, well, honestly, the pretend world doesn't exist, and those that command the pretend world do not abide by the pretend world. You know, let's be honest. Those once the Bolsheviks get in power, they will start being death and destruction. People will fall by the wayside, and well, things will get ugly. It's just a matter of time. When I had a friend of mine, he's an older gentleman. He told me he grew up in the kibbutz. So they immigrated from South America. They went to Israel. He was taken from his parents in a social experiment they called the kibbutz, basically a farming community where they took the kids and they indoctrinated the kids into some particular lifestyle, thinking that it was a social experiment, quite frankly, and it was communism. And he said, as a kid, he came to realize, no matter what happened, however hard he worked or he didn't work, he ended up with the same. So if he busted his tail working real hard and he saw the other folks that didn't care, didn't do much at all, just kind of relaxed, took it easy, they both had ended up with the same thing at the end of the day. And in terms of human behavior, well, this is not exactly a motivation, right? That's why capitalism is the best thing that there is. Because there's an opportunity to better yourself through hard work. Opportunity and challenge actually makes a difference. When everybody gets the same and has this idea of, it'll be like perfect. No. These things are like coupled without human behavior and the tendency of humans and how they might respond or behave. None of these things are coupled together. So that's why they're imaginary pretend worlds, right? Agreed. Let's enjoy this wonderful Tuesday. I'm making tacos tonight. Yeah, Taco Tuesday for Gaseous, man. What are you making it with, Gaseous? You're going to have ground beef, some grass-fed. You're going to have some sausage. You're going to have a beef steak. You're going to have carnitas. Which is it going to be, my friend? Hey, J-Dog, welcome in here. Mushroom hunting is fun. It is. It's a lot of fun. It's cool to get out in the woods and find some chicken of the woods or some hen of the woods. And when you do these things, you want to definitely make sure you're not looking for mushrooms in areas that get sprayed with chemicals. That's something. And not only that, but you certainly don't want to be hunting in old, say, apple orchards where they've used a lot of chemicals in the past, because the thing about mushrooms is they soak up that which is in the environment. So they can pick up a lot of bad stuff if they're getting sprayed or in their areas where spray is being used. But it is a lot of fun to get out into nature where you can find some nice, delicious mushrooms like chanterelle mushrooms. And I don't know, we've made tea with Ganoderma lucidum. We've made tea with Ganoderma applanatum, which is the artist conch. It's a type of shelf mushroom. It's a polypore. The underside is basically it's like polygons instead of spores or straight-lined gills, so to speak. Anyways, the artist conch is the Ganodermis applanatum, which is kind of, I think it's native to the Appalachia, right? And so the underside of it is white. And the interesting thing about these particular type of shelf mushrooms is you can scratch into them a surface and paint, well, not paint, but do like a two-dimensional image into the underside of this mushroom, and that's why they call it the artist conch, because they would write things onto it and it will stay that way. And so it's considered to be like a white piece of paper that you're writing on, but you're really kind of just scraping an image into it. They're kind of cool, and they make an interesting tea. I don't recommend people do that because you have to be expert level to not have to worry about the real downside potentials of making mistakes in that area. Well, look at this. Eggplant Frank says, I've summited Pikes Peak. Hopefully not so with a helicopter. I get it, Eggplant Frank. That's pretty cool, man. That's something to be proud of. I'm glad you're sharing that with us. It's really neat to see folks in the chat here share distinct things that they've done that these are friends of yours. This is what friends of yours have done. I think it's kind of cool to see that in the chat here. Hey, Donks is in the house. We got to give a proper greeting to Donks or no? Yes, maybe. Oh, yeah. Donks likes to do some mushroom hunting too. Oh, those are different. Oh man, let's see. Eggplant Frank says, I heard the death cap mushrooms aren't great for eating. Yeah. Imagine if they are, it's short lived. Leave it at that. It is something to be aware of, is that it is not a good way to go out. You hear about the terrible experiences people have when they have made such mistakes. It is not pleasant. It's a really a torturous way. Yeah, some crosstalk in the chat. If you want a mushroom that's tasty, get you some pancyanins. I'll have to look that up. I can't say off the top of my head I'm familiar with it. Maybe there's another name I know it by. Well, Miss Honeybee coming in with the weather forecast. High of 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Thunderstorms this afternoon. Dew point 71. Well, I guess the grass is not going to get cut tonight either. Gaseous. Communism doesn't work for humanity because we are not a hive mind, and I pray we never become one. Yeah. Well, pretend world is not real world, right? So there's a lot of things that work in pretend, Gaseous. Ground beef. Tried turkey once. Doesn't hold the flavor. Yeah, well, you're going to have some delicious tacos tonight, Gaseous. That sounds good. Hey, Brent's chiming in with 15 degrees Celsius. At the moment, it's 20 for Ram in Victoria. Interesting. So that's like 68 degrees Fahrenheit for our dear friend Ram in Victoria. And let's see, Brent's, that's 18 for every 10. Like 59 degrees for Brent. Nice and cool. Probably has the windows closed. Chicken of the woods are called oysters also, right? No, that's different. Oyster mushrooms, the chicken of the woods is a polypore. The underside is yellow, and they have like they're not gills. In other words, they're not straight or forked gills. They're polypores, which means they're polygon holes. If you look on the other side, you'll see that there's just like this kind of network of polypore holes in them, and that's how they drop their spores. And in fact, I think we have an image in here that we put up a long time ago when we were just talking about the subject here. Now, on this image here, I'll take off the comment just so as to show it a little better. In this image here, you'll see at the top left is what we call the giant puffball mushroom. It's bigger than a person's head, and that's just how large it is. It looks like a skull, really, kind of, in a way. And it's called the giant puffball. And that particular type of mushroom It's got an interesting texture. When you cut it, you have to make absolutely certain that when you do a cross section of that mushroom, you do not see the shape of the kind of button mushrooms you would see in the store, but much, much larger. Because the certain mushrooms can be parasitized by other mushrooms. Anyways, if you find the giant puffball mushroom and you cut it and you don't see the shape of another mushroom inside of it, it's typically, just a regular giant puffball. And it's got this interesting texture. We cut it in thick sections like a steak almost. And then we grill it on both sides, add salt, pepper, and maybe a little garlic powder or onion, and cook it up. It tastes a lot like, to me, tastes a lot like scrambled eggs, but it's got, it's white. It's got a certain texture to it. It's they're really quite tasty, but there's not a lot of flavor. It takes on the flavor that you add to it, and so it's really good for that reason. Now, just to the right of that, you'll see the maitake mushroom, which is called the hen of the woods. Typically, you can find those at the base of oak trees. You just make sure it's not an area that gets sprayed. That's my favorite. It just absolutely delicious taste and flavor. Now, just below the one on the right top there is the, I want to say that's the Ganoderma lucidum. I'm not sure. That's definitely that type of Ganoderma type mushrooms. Typically, people make tea with those. They're not exactly something you cook and eat. And then right in the smack dab in the middle is what we call the lion's mane. If you look at the face of a lion, what you see hanging down below it looks like a mane, right? Anyways, those are absolutely delicious. The lion's mane mushrooms. It's from the class of mushroom family called Heraceium, and just delicious. The bear's tooth is part of the same family, the lion's mane, and it actually is one of the other mushrooms that's known for neurogenesis, and that helps grows new nerve cells, and that's kind of a special thing. And it's also a nootropic for that reason as well, which means that it stimulates growth, and they're delicious too. They've got like a seafood flavor to them. I'd say a cross between shrimp and lobster, maybe, if you wanted to try to give you some kind. It's not the same. It's its own distinct flavor, but that's the way I would classify it as close as I could. So the lion's mane that's smack dab in the middle there, just to the right of that, you will see what looks like it's got an underside of sulfur color. That's the chicken of the woods. And the other one way above was the hen of the woods, and this one here, right to the right of the lion's mane, is the chicken of the woods. It's got a yellow underside typically, and those are Miss Honeybee's favorite mushroom, and it tastes a lot like chicken, as silly as that may sound. And you cook it up in a pan. You'll put a little olive oil in there, and they soak up the olive oil. So you want to get your olive oil, heated up, and you cook them in there, and they are just absolutely delicious. But you have to be aware that you don't want to be in areas where they'll soak up any kind of areas, things that were sprayed for weeds or other chemicals, that kind of thing. So let me pull that one off here. So yeah. So kind of cool. Yeah, oyster mushrooms are different. In fact, the oysters, they have gills on them, and they'll oftentimes grow on the side of a tree, and you can find them in a lot of different places. And they've got a distinctive taste too. And you got to be careful. You got to make sure you know exactly what you're getting. And Miss Honeybee and we cooked up a bunch of those one year, and they were really tasty. We enjoyed them, and we never wanted them again. As silly as that might sound, we cooked up, just a ton of them. We had them; they were delicious. We ate them, and then we never wanted to harvest them again. Isn't that kind of weird? It just lost our desire to eat them anymore, which is kind of interesting. Now listen, if we were hungry, if any of us actually knew what it is to be hungry, and trying to find some foraging in the woods, I'd probably eat them again, right? Docs is minus 20. Oh my goodness. You must be freezing, Brother Ram. What are you talking about? You did the conversion wrong. Oh man. Yeah, a little crosstalk in the chat. It's okay, Donks. It'll be okay. I love that sound effect. Isn't that cool? Eggplant Frank says shiitake is my go-to mushroom. Yeah, those you can get oak logs. I don't know, I want to say about 6 inches in diameter, and you can drill out some holes with a depth gauge, and you can put in these wood plugs that have been inoculated with shiitake mushroom spores, and then after a year or two, you can harvest these mushrooms off of these logs, and a lot of people do that, and we've talked about doing that. We haven't done that in where we are now, but I think that's cool, man. Shiitakes are delicious. Doc says we got puffballs here. Yeah, there's different kinds, but they are, it's like once or twice a year. I think they make their way out. The fruiting body from the mycelium that is ever so present in the ground, right? J-Doc says, thanks for sharing that picture, Kai. I've never had morels. Need to get on that before I die. Well, be careful. You don't want that to be the way it happens. Yeah, morel mushrooms. You're right. Thanks for bringing that up. I actually just skipped right over those. And you want to know the worst part of that is me and Miss Honeybee have been mushroom foraging for years, and we have yet not one occasion, not a single solitary occasion, to find a morel. So that is one of the things on our bucket list, is to find a good spot for morels. And unfortunately, people that find morels are not going to tell you where they found the morels, because they want to keep those morels, right? So yeah, we look for it. Now you also have to watch, because morels there's false morels too. And basically you can tell very easily by cutting a cross section a long ways on them. And so you can look that stuff up. I would caution people to be careful. If you eat a false morel, you can get sick. It's not, it's not deadly as I understand it, but just treat everything as though it is, though, and then you'll be fine. Always err on the side of caution. Lion's mane, very healthy. Yeah, I love lion's mane. We found plenty of lion's mane in the past, and it is really delicious to cook up. Eggplant Frank says, hopefully Ram is gone. Why would you say that, friend? He gave you a fist bump, man. Gasha says, how are you doing? Or rather, Donk says, Gaseous, how are you doing? I'm sure there'll be some crosstalk answers there. He's probably like, I'm working right now. My hands are not free at the moment, but they will be. So what other national day, you might ask, is it? Why, it's National Father-in-Law Day. That's right. Today's National Father-in-Law Day. Embrace the father-in-law. I am thankful that, I have just a wonderful person as a father-in-law, and that's Miss Honeybee's dad. Yeah, imagine how that works. Yeah, real blessed to have folks like that in your life. And that's not the case for all of us, right? Not everybody has the best father-in-law. I mean, let's be honest. What man is good enough for another man's daughter, right? You love your daughter. It's like, this guy better be damn good, right? Anyways, there are a lot of great father-in-laws out there too. And there's yet one more national day. This one, I think Brent might be able to get behind this one. He'll let us know. But it's National Cheesecake Day. I'll pass. I'll pass. National Cheesecake Day. Ram says, I'm here, Eggplant Frank. I'm here, Eggplant Frank. You hurt my feelings. That's what I think Ram's saying. Yeah, don't be like that, Frank. We're buddies. Come on. Eggplant Frank, pick up Ram, give him a hug, man. For only 10 seconds, though. He says, I'm here. Gasha says, I'm doing good, Donkey, at work, gaining some muscles. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. So that wraps up the national days, actually. And, well, there's some weird news stuff, which, Carrie Fisher's Star Wars gold bikini was auctioned for $175,000. Okay. A sneaky seagull steals a bag of chips from a convenience store. Well, we'll see how well he can open that package up. A collection of 163 unique bedpans fails to sell at auction. Oh, I can't imagine why that would be. Oh, they were used? Oh, they weren't clean? Oh, yeah, I just can't imagine why they wouldn't sell. Oh, here's one. Man wins $1 million after buying scratch-off lottery tickets on a whim. Well, yeah, there's the news story because that never happens. Right? Playful pony found prancing down Delaware Road. All righty. And I think that kind of wraps up the... Well, there is an Australian ultra marathoner sets record for fastest crossing of Malaysia. Well, that's kind of cool. Natalie Dow has set a new record for the fastest crossing of peninsular Malaysia on foot. Dow covered over 700 kilometers from Kelantan into north to Johor Bahru in the south in 8 days and 46 minutes. Oh, here's another one for you, Brent Monkhaus. An eggplant. Endangered tree kangaroo peers out of mother's pouch at zoo, Miami. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, the roos are cute if they're not trying to punch you in the face. You know? Isn't that right, Brett? Eggplant Frank? All right. Well, I am going to be trying to wrap up some work today. And I'm going to head out a little bit early today, folks. I want to thank y'all for coming in here. Listen, add something to the comments if you want it to be talked about briefly, and we will do so before we roll out of here. Let's see. I'll get back to the chat here. I think I missed a bunch. Yeah. Ram says, Frank, don't be like that. Eggplant Frank says, baked cheesecake is the best ever. I imagine Eggplant Frank's better half probably does a heck of a job baking that cheesecake. Yep. Maybe a passion fruit glaze on top. Oh, interesting. Yeah, maybe blueberry glaze or raspberry. I imagine that sounds very nice, Eggplant Frank, even though I won't partake in the cheesecake because it comes from... See, I told you sounded sick, Ky. What the hell kind of way is that to say good morning or good evening to your friends in the land down under, mate? He's asking how the tea is. Ky, do you know why it's called the passion fruit? I think you're about to impart some knowledge to me, Eggplant Frank. I imagine it has something to do with love, joy, and happiness. But please do let us know why it is called the passion fruit. I imagine it has something to do with that, huh? Maybe makes you a little bit. Well, what's that word that some ladies don't like to hear? Turn you into a horn dog, so to speak. Why did that southern voice come out, Ky, right then and there? Very good, Brother Ram. Makes my evening, that comment. Yes, See, now Honeybee and Ram they're in pretend world where he's making tea for her, and she said it was delicious, and well, it made his day because they're playing along. Yep, Ram's got the little Roo over there. Big feet on that Roo. I almost ate a bunch of false parasols last summer. Ooh, donks, man. I'm glad the word was almost because, well, there wouldn't be much donks left, I can tell you. False parasols. Ugh. Yeah, I think that's that's the real bad stuff, right? Yeah. Good night, Ram. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please go to Ky's channel, like and subscribe. Yeah, I'm going to take a moment to do that. We really are blessed to have Joey endorsing our channel and our show, and eventually Ky and Friends will be solely there. And of course, we still have the Blues Lounge on Monday and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. We have happy hour at 5 p.m. on Catalano TV, and certainly Saturday mornings at Catalano TV. We're going to have members broadcasts as well. But eventually, the Ky and Friends show at this time will be exclusively on its own channel at some point. So I'm going to do a shameless plug here. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. We have had the honor and the pleasure of being on with Bobby Fran Live, BF Live, and he has so kindly been running advertisements for people to subscribe to our show and our channel, and we're so thankful for that. Sometimes when you do some good and you know things come around that are, well, they're pleasant, right? There's rewards for being good to others and for making friends, right? And working with people in a civilized manner. There's good will come to all that have goodwill. And so we're delighted to know that we have friends like Chris Abels, a brilliant comedian, and Bobby Fran. They have a great show, Replayables. Always fun to watch those guys on Levyverse. And I wish I didn't have to work during the day so much. I could catch more of Bobby Fran. Sometimes I'll pop it on while I'm working if I don't have to concentrate too much on what it is I'm doing, so I can hear what's going on with Bobby Fran and the guys. He's got Scott on there and Bobby Nick, and they're always having a good time. And Bobby Fran really puts together quite the show. It's always fun. It's interesting. He puts a lot of effort into it, and he's just a natural-born gifted broadcaster. And you'll see that as soon as you hear him. Or you'll see it and you'll hear it. And so we're thankful for those guys. So yeah, if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ky and Friends at Ky Brancaccio on YouTube. Ram says, why is Frank still pissed at Rambo? What are you talking about? Rambo. Oh, Lord. Good night, Brother Ram. Eggplant Frank says, I can't remember the exact story, but it had to do with Christian missionaries in South America. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so the passion fruit is actually from South America. Okay, I didn't know if that was a tropical fruit from, well, maybe Polynesian, but it's actually from South America. That makes sense. I know the most northern tropical fruit there is the pawpaw tree. And that grows all the way up here in Zone 6. I'm not sure if it grows in the cooler climates than that. But it is the northernmost tropical fruit, and Miss Honeybee loves pawpaws. You will never find them in the grocery stores because they do not translate well. They bruise easily, and so they're not sold typically. But if you have the trees, they taste like a banana custard. And they have different flavors from different varieties. And she loves them. And Ramp says, good night, bro, donks, and Sisby. Cheers, bless have me as a family member, Catalano family. Yeah, Ram. Thanks for coming in here. I hope you have a great night. It's good to see you. We appreciate you here. And here's the shameless plug for Ky and Friends. False parasols make you pretty sick. Yeah, definitely be careful about these. That's what I told you. And if you don't have absolute certainty, you don't even consider picking it. Yep. Bobby Fran is a cool cat. Yeah, he sure is. The passion fruit vine is meant to symbolize the wreath. The wrench. The passion fruit vine is meant to symbolize the wreath worn by Christ when crucified. Interesting. I wasn't aware of that. So the passion, I see the passion. That's interesting. Yeah, the terminology that Christine uses, the passion. And not everybody, that falls on deaf ears for some folks. They don't understand the reference there. So you can look it up, right? If you so choose. Yep. Eggplant Frank says the fruit is meant to symbolize the passion of the Christ. Hence, passion fruit. Does it nail you to a cross if you eat it? Oh, come on, docs. Those false parasols almost did that, right? And it's great to see docs in here. Does it nail you to a cross if you eat it? Doc says Frank drew blood first. Anyways, listen, we're going to roll it out here. I want to thank you all for coming in here. Appreciate your participation. It's great to see y'all. And we hope you have a great day or a great evening. Just remember to take a moment to think of that which you're grateful for or thankful for. It helps to release endorphins, makes you move forward with a positive disposition. It really can make a difference. And if you can, maybe try meditation. You might be surprised at what that can do for you. It's very difficult to not think of anything. And so when one engages in meditation and tries not to think of anything, it certainly can help to stop repetitive thoughts, things that continue to enter your mind and you'll become obsessed, compulsed with, right? This type of method can prevent the recycling of certain thoughts. And so there's a lot of good that can be gained from it. Anyways, appreciate you all. Thanks for coming in here. I hope you all have a great day or a great evening. For our dear friends in the land down under, J-Doc says, love the show, Ky. It's laid back. Well, thanks for being here. Really, we are so thankful. We got such a great group in the chat. I'm not kidding you. We really are thankful. We got wonderful folks. And J-Doc says, meditation is the best thing I've ever done for myself in my life. J-Doc, I think if I think in terms of myself too, that might be a true statement. You know, when you think about it. Changed my life. I am so thankful that I learned it as a teenager. It's definitely something that has definitely been a big influence in my life. It's a very powerful tool, one that is not well understood by a lot of people. But, and it sounds laughable. A lot of people will laugh at it, and it's I can understand where that happens. You know, people think it's laughable, it's funny. But when you realize that you have a tool, a very powerful tool that can take you away from something simply by concentrating on what's between your ears, can totally take you away from a circumstance or a situation that may be just a great challenge or maybe even engage you in some terrible grief. It's a powerful tool, man. Anyways, I want to thank you all for coming in here. I hope you have a great day, great evening. Chivdiama, ciao, lakayam, cheers. What's the other one? Tally ho! And, well, don't be a hoe.
Joey C and Honey you see, laughing loud on TV. Ky with those guitar leads, Spider's drumbeat melody. Honeybee laughs and sneezes, good vibes always pleases. Kahuna knew we never slow, makes the good times flow. Catalano TV, fun for you and me. Epic jams every night, under the spotlight. Tunes that make you sway, watch the troubles fade away. Every note a celebration, join the blues sensation. Friends all gathered round, living in the sound. Joy in every beat, dancing in our seat. Catalano TV, fun for you and me. Epic jams every night, under the spotlight. Make you sway, watch the troubles fade away. Every note a celebration, join the blues sensation. Friends all gather round, living in the sound. Joy in every beat, dancing in our seat.